Hi, it's Summer here, and I'm going to be working on my Pastel girl. This comes from the Pastel Girl Dress Up app. I thought this character was super cute. And, as you may know or may not know, I've done quite a few uniforms in the past. I've always found the necklines to be the hardest and most challenging part to make. I've done them a few different ways in the past. This time I'll be using a pattern by Requiem Arts Digital that I downloaded from Etsy. I even made one pattern as a practice for this. This pattern here looks to be quite close to what I want to do, but the shirt will need some alterations. And without putting the darts in, and using the largest size, this isn't actually super tight. Not like the pictures suggest. Probably mean that I wouldn't have to adjust it that much from what I'm planning to do. Obviously I'm planning to add maybe 2-3 centimeters to the bottom. Put out all of my pieces for my Pastel Girl doll. Making sure to make this one about 2 centimeters longer across the bottom. I've made the arms a little wider, and I've made the back a little wider. This should give her more of a loose fitting look. As for my skirt, I've used some fray stopper to go into these corners. I'm going to have to cut them in, and they are not going to have any M's when I pleat them. I finished sewing up the top. I just have to add Velcro in the back and my little blue bow at the front. As for the skirt, I need to iron the back down to create the hidden pleat look. I then need to sew the backs together, iron it across, and add the fastening. Now I don't have any fabric which is this colour, so I've decided to mix up some blue and purple fabric paint and paint it on white fabric. Now I've just got to let this dry. In order to make the little bow, I cut a strip out of the fabric I painted, and I basically just wrapped it around and glued it in place to be the bow. And now I'm just going to glue it on the front of her outfit. In order to make the hat, I need to take a doll with a wool wig, since the Pastel project will eventually have a wool wig. I then take a strip of fabric, fold it in half, and wrap it around a head. Reminding myself to leave a slight amount so that I can make a hem. And cut it in place. I can now decorate with a strip across one side. And then sew together. After I finish sewing the band for the berry, I want to cut out a circle which is 6 inches or 15 centimeters in diameter. Then I gather around the top of the circle and sew it around the top of the band. After sewing the hat together, I cut out a couple of tabs and glue them inside the hat to give them this cute tail look. The shoes are a very simple paint job, but for the tongue I just glued in some foam. So for the little baggie, I've cut out some fluffy fabric and painted a face on it with purple So Soft fabric paint. I've cut out a little back too. I'm just going to stick some pieces that can be sewn in between them. I'm going to blush it up with some chalk pastels. I'm going to cut some more tabs, which I'm going to paint a little white line through. I really have had so much fun making this outfit. I think my favourite part by far is this little baggie. Just looks so cute. The shirt was very simple to adapt from the Digital Arts Requiem pattern. The bow was super easy to make too. I painted these little hearts on top of the sock. I think they're adorable. I used the same colour for the pink on the shoes as I did with the socks and the ribbon, helping to tie it in. I start by drawing my face out in light pink. This is easy to rub out and helps guide what I'm going to do next. She needs a couple more layers I think my big question at this point is, do I leave the eyes blank or give them pupils? Leaving them blank makes them look more like the original design, but I think my artwork is different enough anyway. I think the pupils can really help give a personality to a dog. So I've just done a little bit of colour correcting, and I'm really quite happy with how she's looking now. It's a shame that my white colour pencil wasn't a very strong pigment on her, so I ended up having to go over it with some paint. So for my wig, I'm going to follow Mazekito's video on how to make a pigtail yarn weft. I'm going to streak my wefts with a mint green Sharpie. I found that this wool was actually a bit waxy, so I'm not sure how it's going to go down well. Making the wig has gone really well so far. I just have to wait a really long time for it to dry. I'm really hoping that this looks even at the end. There's so many parts to it, I'm really struggling to tell what's just happening here. So I think I'm done with the wig. I've completely sprayed her up with hairspray. I've gone through the back line, gluing a lot of it together because it seems to have come apart after I brushed it to make the pigtails. Ultimately, I'm fairly happy and I think it looks really cute. I find pigtail wigs need a little bit of extra help to stick in, so I like to pin it into the head. It's really important to find a place to sit for it to sit where it's not super visible. I think this is a good place to put a pin. Making sure just to hide the pin heads inside the hair. And there we go. Now it's time to get her dressed.